Hello everyone, my name is Adam Flynn and I'm here with Willard Moose, who is a farmer from Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. Thank you for your time.
You're quite welcome.
And I've got a few questions here about your life as a farmer when you were growing up. So for my first question, as a farmer, do you own your own farm or do you farm on someone else's land?
I own my own farm.
You own your own farm?
Yes.
Awesome. And so when you were growing up, did everyone in the family have chores to work around the farm? And if so, what type of labor did each person have to do?
Everybody had a farm. I had two brothers, one sister, mother and dad. There's 6 of us. Everybody had a chore. And we got home from school at a young age. I had my chore that I had to do. We milked cows. And during the wintertime, the one thing I hated most about the chore was it got dark early and the Long Ranger came on at 5 o'clock. And that kept me from seeing the Long Ranger, or listening to the Long Ranger. Didn't have TV then.
Oh, that is a really great show. And what crops did your family grow?
We grew wheat, milo, corn, and made hay for the cows.
Amazing. And how did you plant and harvest the crops?
In those days, it was our primarily power source was horses. We did have a tractor we plowed the field with, but everything was planted with horses.
So mostly everything was horse powered.
Horse powered, right.
Was this before or after tractors were invented?
It was before.
Ah.
Of course, there was tractors available, but we did have a 1927 1520 International, a McCormick Deering tractor, and we plowed with it. And of course, Dad, he farmed during the summer and run a sawmill during the winter, and we pulled a sawmill with the tractor also.
Wow, that's really cool. Did you own any livestock?
Oh yes, we had cows, we had hogs, chickens. Of course, then the chickens, of course, all of it was for food in the farm, and we also sold some of them also.
Is that so? This is like food for your family, or
Yes.
did you do it for agricultural food businesses?
Well, the milk was for food businesses. Eggs from the chickens were traded for groceries. At that time, there's no money exchange hands. We traded eggs for our groceries. If there's any extra money left, they carried it over to the next week.
Amazing. And so what kind of machinery did you and your family use around the farm?
Well, the tractor, as I said, a 1927 tractor. Dad bought a rubber-tired tractor out at Alice Chalmer in 1949, and that was really an upgrade from the old tractor. Then we planted and worked the crops more with the tractor rather than by horsepower.
Wow. That's so when the time when tractors were invented, you use a lot of that more.
Yes.
Cool. Amazing. So, and what kind of transportation did you and your family use growing up?
That's an interesting story. The first car I remember us having was a 1929 Pontiac. And during the war, the Pontiac wore out, and we had a Ford Motor Company in Mount Pleasant. And they said they would overhaul the motor, and they tore the motor down and couldn't get the parts. This was during World War II, about 1943-44. And my uncle owned a Surrey in Concord, and Dad, he took a saddled up a saddle horse, went out and picked up that Surrey and put shaves on it, brought it back home. That was our transportation for the summer.
Oh, that's actually really, really interesting right there. And what food did you and your family eat?
We ate anything we could grow in the garden. Of course, Mother always had fried chicken for Sunday lunch, and that was the chicken was, of course, dressed on Saturday. We didn't have a deep freeze. We didn't get electricity in 1949, so a lot of this we depended on ice that we picked up in Mount Pleasant.
So, and I'm guessing without all this power, how were the meals prepared?
Cook stove, wood stove.
Ooh,
And our washing machine was powered by gasoline engine.
wow. And what conveniences did you have at home when you were growing up?
That'd be hard to say with the stories I've already told you. We did have a radio, and of course it was powered by a battery, and we could pick up the Grand Ole Opry on Saturday night. That's the highlight of the week. Conveniences, we didn't have inside plumbing. We had an outside toilet. This was up until, of course, we got electricity because we had no running water. We had to draw the water by hand that we used from a well.
From deep within the ground?
Yes, the well was 50 foot deep. We have 2 dug wells on the place and 2 bored wells. These wells, both of them, one was at the barn, one was at the house. They were rock lined all the way down to 50 feet. But we had to draw our cooking water by hand. Had a bucket on a chain and the well windlass, you cranked it up by hand.
Wow. So back then it was really a lot more when it comes to like back labor.
Oh yes.
And what were your relationships with extended families at the time?
Well, my relationship, I was born in 1936. I was the youngest of 3 boys and had a sister younger than I. And it was a family operation.
Okay, and last but not least, do you think the farming lifestyle or today's modern lifestyle is better, and why?
Well, today's modern farming is like anything else. Unless you progress and develop it to where you can raise it product cheaper, there's no way you can stay in business.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all the questions I have. Thank you
Okay.
for your time.
You're quite welcome.